We like to call it the Supernatural Hour. And now, our hosts.
So, welcome to the Supernatural Hour podcast. I'm your host, Ravyn.
I'm Rogue.
This is Doc.
And Chad's here.
I should be called Grumpy Ravyn today.
Maybe.
Why is that?
I'm grumpy.
Maybe.
See, no, everyone's speechless.
Yeah, we don't even want to say anything. We're all
I'm
scared.
a little scared, yeah. Oh, go.
And we've got Doc. I can be grumpy.
Oh, there you go. You got.
Oh, wow.
I already took grumpy.
I'll be happy.
Yeah, we got a happy Rogue, grumpy Ravyn,
I can be sleepy.
Doc, and then sleepy Chad. Probably.
Okay, we've got new names. I scared everybody.
Right,
No one's
now
gonna
we're the
talk now.
dwarfs.
Supernatural
But there's
dwarfs.
only 4 of us.
It works.
That's probably a good thing.
I went Karen on somebody today. I had a Karen moment. We're okay. It's not a Karen moment, though, if it's deserved.
She's moving through it.
I'm okay. I'm better.
Slowly.
I hope so.
Very slowly.
Yeah. I can do a pretty good Karen.
Yeah.
I did. I actually said, "May I speak with your supervisor?" I'm like, "Oh my word, I'm Karen now." It's okay. We got it. We got it figured out. I'm good. I'm not good, but I'm good.
So for the business, we had our summer event for our insiders at Rock Canyon Park, and that was a lot of fun. Thanks for everybody that participated and brought things for the meal. We had some delicious chicken.
Everything was delicious.
Yes.
There was not one thing there that was not delicious, and I tried everything, and I'm now like a beached whale.
And there was lots of everything too.
There was so much food.
And then let's talk about what Rogue took home with her.
Crumble cookies, and they were delicious.
A whole dozen.
Wow.
Well, okay, you know how this works, though, right? The correct way to eat a crumble cookie is to eat the whole thing in one sitting, the whole thing in like 10 minutes. Then you feel sick for 5 hours like you want to die. And then you recover. That's the proper... None of this cutting it into fours and eating it over the course of 24
I know.
hours. No.
When you have 12,
No.
you do that, and then you recover, and then you go eat another one.
So you're doing it
Okay.
properly.
You can get like 4 a day down. Got 3
So
days worth.
sick. Thankfully, I shared. Thankfully, Nicholas took one for the team.
Just
because
one?
The team didn't want to take. No,
We took like 4.
I think that Nicholas ate his fair share.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. So if you are not from Utah and you've never heard of Crumble Cookie, you need a Utah friend.
Oh, they've been expanding, man. They're all over the place. They have them in Texas now.
Really?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Find your local Crumble.
You need a Crumble friend to send you one. Just imagine the biggest, softest, most delicious 25 bazillion calorie cookie you've ever had in your life.
This episode brought to you by Crumble.
We are not
I just
endorsed
kidding.
We're
by them.
not.
I should be, though.
Yet.
I'm going to call them.
As
We
much
should.
as I buy, I think I'm sponsoring them.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to send me a cookie.
Yeah, and probably 12 of them.
The sugar cookie's the best one.
And
Pink
then
sugar cookie.
they'll give you
best one.
eating instructions.
Whole thing.
Just
5
open your
minutes. You feel gross the rest of the day.
and then eat another
you
one.
survive.
They're brutal.
That's the proper way.
They're
Anyway,
brutal.
sorry.
So we had a great event. We'll probably talk a little more about that when we get into the investigations, but it was great to have everybody out and spend time with people, and we had a great time getting together.
You too could eat crumble cookies with us if you become our Patreon.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
And we got to use our new mic for Quiet Grumpy Ravyn. I wasn't grumpy that night, though. I'm not grumpy often. It's very rare that I'm grumpy.
Your karaoke machine.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And the
Thank
patrons
you.
helped buy that for us.
You'll
That
never
was-
hear me sing on that, though. I
Thank
will tell
you.
you that. You're welcome for that, too. I had a little listen of my singing moment on our last podcast. That was terrifying. I will never do that again. I'm
That's
so
hilarious.
sorry. It was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
You sang on our last one? I'll have to go
Just
back and
like
listen
one
to it.
little sentence, but it
Uh-huh.
was painful. I apologize. We're working on a September event. We have a date, we have a location. We just need to jump one more little scheduling snafu. So we will have that up on the website soon.
And that's looking towards the end of September?
That should be September 25th.
Okay.
And as soon as everything checks out, we'll give you more details.
And then we do have one that we did get scheduled.
Yes.
So we can give you some actual information, and that's Petite Neat School in Payson, Utah.
It's my grade school.
And that is on October
15th.
15th. And those are both Saturday nights?
The 15th is a Friday.
Okay, the 15th is a Friday night.
And the 25th of September is National Ghost Hunter Day. Did you know that?
That's why we want to get it on the 25th, right?
Exactly.
So,
Did you know that today is National Black Cat Day?
I actually saw something about that.
Did you?
Yeah.
we've got a striped cat. Does that count? Or do I need
He's
to...
a floof cat.
Only halfway.
He's a floofy. Yeah, so October actually is looking to be really busy. We're going to be at the Paranormal Convention up in Logan on October 9th. Then we will have Petite Neat School on October 15th.
Okay, so we've got things going with some upcoming investigations. Check out the advancedparanormal.com events page, upcoming events page, and it'll be there. There will be links to Eventbrite for tickets.
Yep, but spooky season is coming, and it's always fun.
Yes, autumn is in the air for sure. That brings spooky season. I love it.
So let's talk about investigations.
All right, so let's go to our Rock Canyon investigation because that's about the only thing we've had going in the last week. Time flies.
We actually have 2 residentials in the works. I'm just waiting for them to call back and schedule it. But Rock Canyon, I've been there twice now, and it's not disappointed both times.
What did you think about how it went? When were we there? Friday? Saturday? Saturday? In comparison to being there in previous times?
I think it was a little bit better this last Saturday,
Really?
whatever day it was.
And
Saturday.
what about this time was better than the last time?
Because this time, so the first time we went, we'd never been there before. And, so we had some stories that we'd found online of, this happened here, that happened there. But when we actually investigated it, we wasted some time in areas where there just wasn't anything. Now, and
Gotcha.
as most ghost hunting, maybe there was nothing there that night, and maybe the next night it would just be freaky, crazy haunted with rocks floating and twirling in the sky. But instead, this time we went to the same places that were active the
Last
first
time?
time we went,
Right.
and just kind of got right into it. And
Yeah.
kind of avoided the places where there was no activity. So when we go again, because we'll definitely go again, I wouldn't mind trying out some of those other areas again.
I'm going to wear better shoes. Just so you know, because we're going to go again, and she really bombed me on the shoe thing. Don't wear tennis shoes at Rock Canyon.
Well, she asked if she should wear hiking boots. It's like, it's not hardcore hiking. Just wear closed-toed shoes.
Until
I wore
we
hiking
started
boots.
walking in stream beds, dry stream beds. And
Right, but you didn't come in
Dings.
like stilettos, right?
no, I just came in Vans, which no ankle support, like no nothing. And we went doing some actual hiking. Like I'm wearing better shoes.
So,
Just
Rogue,
saying.
what did you think of the canyon?
I thought that it was very interesting. I think that we learned quite a bit using the SLS.
Yes.
We found a spirit that needed or wanted help crossing over, which I always enjoy helping. That's something that I'm here for. I liked being in an outdoor venue. I've liked it in the past. I like being outdoors with nature, doing our hunts. It's always enjoyable for me.
Right. We ran into a type 3 this time that we did not run into the first time we were there.
Okay, so that's new.
Yes, it was new. It smelled like urine.
Right, in that little alcove that we found.
Yes, and I think it was the same one that was messing with us when we were in that big area where we talked about the car being parked.
Right,
I think it was there messing with us. And then Chuck and Kelly were at the pavilion, and because his back was hurting a little bit that night, so he
Right.
went to sit down and rest for a minute. And he said that while he was sitting there, he felt rushed and circled, like someone was circling him, assessing him, and then he felt rushed. And I think it was that same spirit. I think that type 3 was checking us all out. And what are you doing here? And messing
Right.
with my space, but. He was kind of a wimpy type 3.
right.
But he
Just kind of
stunk.
nosy.
He stunk.
And Chuck got some very interesting SLS images in the pavilion when we were there next to the urn that was brought. That's an
Forgot
interesting story.
about the urn.
We have an urn.
Where is the urn?
Oh, here on the desk, right there.
Just right with
Right there.
us.
Yep. So let's tell you about this urn. So a member of our team, her husband bought one of those mystery pallets. You know, just one of those. Pay $500 and you get what you get, or $52.46 from Amazon, and you just get whatever it is, right? I don't know how much he paid for this, but as they're going through their pallet, there's an urn.
Show it to Doc.
And it's beautiful.
I saw it.
Did you?
You brought it to my
right.
workplace, if you remember correctly.
That's right.
They were that excited they brought it
Oh my
in.
gosh, yeah. Well, no, they brought me chicken
came
because I
out.
wasn't able
Yeah.
to go to the Rock Canyon event, and
Yeah.
so I snuck out real quick over by the helicopters, and I was like, "What the hell
I'm like,
is
hey,
this?
look at our urn.
Check out this urn we got that's got human remains in it, but we don't know anything else about it."
Right?
Yeah, pretty sweet actually.
Yeah. It's a nice urn.
So I have gotten in contact with a couple different morticians, and I know we're gonna take care of this appropriately. But for now, she's sitting on the desk.
What is the process? Is there a process?
So the process is, if you can't figure out, where it comes from, basically it's do what you want with it. And I mean, I had one guy say you can throw it in the trash if you want to, but that just doesn't feel right because that's someone's loved one. I mean,
Right.
that's a person. They lived and had happiness and sadness and probably had their Karen moments like I did today.
Yeah, and they did. I'm sure they didn't want to end up in a garbage can.
So, right. And so...
That's not what I'm planning on. I mean, it might happen, but that's not what I'm
there are
planning on.
days.
That's not your dying wish. Is please dispose of me in a garbage can.
So, the answer was you can, take the remains. I guess you can unscrew it. They just screw it really tight so you can't casually, accidentally, grandkids don't come over and, hey, what's in here? So I guess we could really whale it open and go scatter the ashes somewhere. Or we could go take it to a mortuary and just say, hey, we found these. We don't know what to do with them. Yours
And then
now.
they'll flush them.
But they might say, well, I guess a lot of mortuaries actually have little vestiaries with unclaimed ashes that people don't come and get. And so, but a mortuary, they did say a mortuary could say, yeah, we did our job. We don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So worst case scenario, we'll just go dig a hole
Scatter them somewhere or
and
bury it or
bury
something.
it somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds respectful enough, I think.
Give it a little ceremony. Give it a little
I
bit
can
of...
play Amazing Grace with my bagpipes.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
it'll like
goodness. But yeah,
We
it's way
think
better
it's
than
a-
the garbage can.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's a woman based on dowsing rods and the fact that it's a floral urn. So
Yeah, and I don't know how much, ashes the average human body produces, but it seemed adultish.
Mhm.
That's my thought anyway.
yeah. So anyway, that's our urn story. But
By
going back,
shaking it, it seemed adultish.
It felt adultish.
Because our other team member felt that it was youngish, and she
Okay,
was
well,
freaking out
we're
that it
talking
was
about
small.
Doc here.
I don't know. I
I
mean,
know, so I'm like,
just
that's
saying.
an educated
it's a
guess
good
there.
It's a good size urn. It's
It
not like
is.
a little one, So I would have thought like a kid's urn would be a little smaller, but
Yeah.
I don't know. This is all conjecture. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I like that.
I'm not a ash specialist. Anyway, so
Powder
Um,
compacts.
That's right.
yeah, it's funny. One of the morticians that I called actually has called me to do several funerals, and our thought process was call 2 or 3 and get lots of answers and kind of triangulate on what is like the internet. You read 10 different articles. If it says something on all 10 of them, you figure it might be the best thing. So I called this one who calls me a lot to play for funerals, and I said, hey, when you have a second, I have a question for you. And he goes, well, that's a strange turn of events, you calling me. And I said, oh, you have no idea how strange this is going to be.
We came into possession of an urn that was bought online.
On a pallet. I just want, someone's in trouble. Where's Grandma?
Seriously.
Anyway.
Hopefully somebody's in trouble. Hopefully.
Right. Anyway, but the SLS that Chuck got was a spirit touching the urn. And you have to be careful. We've talked about this a little bit before. You've got to be careful with the SLS because sometimes it likes to try to focus in on a chair or a light or something.
Or
But
the
this-
bushes.
The bushes. But this one wasn't on anything.
It was
there
on a
wasn't-
picnic table.
It was on a picnic table, but the head was above the picnic table, the feet were below and the hand was reaching. I mean, you can, if you work with the SLS a lot, you can start to tell when it's trying to make a chair into a person or when there's actually something there it's picking
So did
up.
we capture it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do we have that photo up somewhere or anything?
Not yet. Not yet.
I have not seen it.
Is it going
So-
on the Tickety Talks?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So what else with Rock Canyon? Anything else?
I got some interesting pictures that I need to look at again before I send them out to make sure that it's not bugs. But I've got some interesting streaks on some photos. We had people that were getting touched.
Yes, we have one of our Patreons that gets touched almost every time he comes out. And Rock Canyon was no different.
Right. Right. And it's not just attention seeking. It's, I mean, you can tell.
Oh, yeah, he's
it's-
sensitive.
It's legit.
Yeah.
He's legitimately getting touched. So,
Yeah, so we had fun. Kind of a midnight hike, and
and it was breezy. It felt cool.
yeah, it was a great night. It really
It
was.
was nice. It was.
Once we got rid of the chicken with the wasps.
There's a lot. Yeah, wasps like the chicken.
The wasps were bad, and they really liked Crumble. Anywhere a
wouldn't
cookie
you?
Everybody
went.
likes Crumble.
Everybody likes crumble.
And who doesn't like chicken?
Right?
It was
They were
Chick-fil-A,
bad,
too.
though. Those hornets were terrible.
So next time we go, we'll bring some wasp traps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or something. Some spray. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. But
Hang
the,
out
the
to trap
wasps
'em.
were bad. But they just hung out by the food. So if you could dodge them to get your food, then the rest of the night was pleasant. All right. Bucket. It's my turn for bucket list. I haven't done a bucket list in forever.
All right. I took you to hell last time, so.
So this bucket list, though, is a little more ambiguous. I want to stumble upon something that nobody's found before. And I'll give you an example. I knew somebody who knew somebody. It's going to be one of those stories.
Friend of a friend.
Yeah. It was actually the uncle of an ex-husband, so a little more.
Even more distant than friend of a friend. Oh, my goodness.
But he lived in the Roosevelt, Duchesne area. And it's called Duchesne, not Duchesne. Duchesne.
Not Dutch Chesney.
Not Duchesne. Duchesne. And the story goes that he was tooling around out in the desert out there.
Where there's a lot of it.
Yes, where there's a whole lot of nothing out there. And dinosaur bones. There are dinosaur bones, so maybe there's dragons. But he found this little cave, and inside the cave, and he swears up and down to I don't know if he's still alive, but to his dying day, to the last time I knew of him, he swore that this was true. But he found a little cave, and inside the cave were some old baskets of rolled up parchment. And some of this, I don't remember everything. There might have been like a couple baskets of coins and stuff. But he left it, and he thought, I'm going to come back here. And, when I've got like a wagon or a car, I don't know what you take out in the desert, horse, and bring this back and delve into this a little bit more. But then he could never find it again. And I don't know if he actually couldn't find it again.
Or if he just told you he couldn't find it.
Told you, is he making it up? I don't know. But that would be cool. That would be cool to find King Tut's tomb and be the first person to find that, or to run into that cave that nobody has found yet.
Did he look at any of the parchment? Did he open it up or anything?
I don't know.
So somewhere in Duchesne
Is a cave.
Is a cave.
with a basket of parchment.
And coins.
And coins.
And
Isn't there like the
scrolls
Dutchman's gold in Duchesne? I think that I've went
The
looking
Flying
for.
Dutchman.
The
I
Flying
was kidding.
That's
Is that what that
Superstition
is?
Mountains.
Superstition
down in
Mountains, yep.
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah.
Is that the Tucson area?
Yeah, Tucson, and even kind of south in Phoenix, kind of down through there. The Superstitions are basically on the way down to Tucson.
So that would be my bucket list. Because I think if you found something like that, there would probably be paranormal activity to investigate.
I bet.
So a little ambiguous, but that would be my bucket list.
There'd be a lot to it outside of just the paranormal activity. I mean, finding something like
history.
that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a little example. Not far from my house is a cave called Timpanogos Cave. And I hike it with a friend regularly. And it's a steep hike. I mean, you can take kids up it all the time. You see little kids, with their moms. There's some drop-offs.
It's a paved trail. I mean,
There's
it's
lots
a-
of switchbacks.
It's a national monument.
It's a national monument. You have to get tickets. They're sold out. You got to get them way in advance. It's doable, but it's not an easy hike. It's about a mile one way, and switchbacks like crazy. In this 1 mile, you're gonna raise like 2,000, 2,500 feet in elevation.
It's up there.
It's a good workout, which is why I do it about once a week. But I got up there one day, and there was a ranger there, and we got chatting with him. And I said, "How on earth did someone find this? Who just decided, I'm going to walk up this steep mountain and look for a cave?" And he says, "Well, the story is that he was looking for wood." And I'm like, "And there's not wood?"
There wasn't wood 2,000 feet down in the canyon.
And the ranger looked at us and he goes, "Well, that's the story." He says, "I think there might have been a little treasure hunting going on in real life."
Yeah, apparently
So,
my wife's, great-great-great-grandpa was the guy who discovered Timpanogos Cave.
well, he was looking for treasure. He
I
was
believe
not
it.
looking for wood.
No, there's not a lot of wood right up there.
Well, there are, like, down further.
Yeah, if that's what I'm saying. If you want wood, stay down in the
And
canyon.
who would want to go up, cut it down, and then drag it down the 2 miles?
Exactly.
I can understand it if all the wood below is already gone.
Yeah, but it was still there. I don't know. The wood story seems suspect. Just saying.
Yeah, so,
Something Hansen. I'm trying to remember what his first name was, but I don't remember. 'Cause
I
it was
heard he was looking for a cougar. Not a girl, a real cougar.
He's like, man, I need someone. Let's go. Late
Some
40s.
Cave
Older
woman.
A late 40s cave woman. That's what I need.
all right. So, junk drawer. Last time it was kind of a serious junk drawer. So today I found something a little more lighthearted. Y'all know who Charles Dickens is,
Yes.
right? And we know that antique mirrors can be kind of creepy. Even mirrors can be creepy.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I have a mirror issue.
Yes.
One of these days we need to do a new mirror episode. We did one ages and ages ago, but we'll redo mirrors because mirrors are fascinating. Anyway,
They are.
there is a haunted mirror, and it is in the Tremont Temple in Boston, and it's haunted by the ghost of Charles Dickens.
Interesting.
Okay. How do
And
we
when
know
is
that?
the Tremont Temple in Boston?
I don't know. That's what the article
Is it
says.
a Masonic temple?
Possibly.
I'm curious. I'll look it up.
Possibly. All the listeners are like, do
Do
your
some Googling.
research. Okay.
I'm going to Google this.
Google it really quick for me. So it's a floor-length mirror, and it originally hung in a room at the Omni Parker House Hotel, and we have been there.
We have been there, and they have really good
Clam chowder,
clam chowder rolls.
Parker House rolls. That's where they were invented, and that's also where Boston cream pie was invented.
This has the Tremont Temple Baptist Church.
Okay, so it's a Baptist temple. I did not know the Baptists had temples.
It's a Baptist church, but they call them temples.
Okay.
sometimes.
So apparently Dickens stayed in the Omni Parker House Hotel in 1867 and 1868. He was, doing a tour and, doing public readings of his work, right? And he was particularly kind of caught up in A Christmas Carol at the time and kind of pushing that a lot. And people said that when they walked past his room, they could hear him practicing and reciting, and probably I should do more of that before I podcast. But a lot of people think that the ghost of Dickens is still there and is embedded in this mirror. So the Omni Parker House Hotel is one of the more haunted places in Boston, and we didn't actually ghost hunt there, and we couldn't get in on the haunted floor as far as staying there. But we went there and perused the halls surreptitiously and ghost hunted.
We had our K2 meter.
Yes, we did. We ghost hunted on the sly. And people say that the Omni Parker House was the inspiration for Stephen King's 1408.
And it's a very nice hotel.
Right.
I would recommend it if you get the opportunity.
And rumor has it that there's quite a few famous ghosts, which it doesn't really name because this is about Dickens. But the most famous story that involves Dickens is the hotel elevator. There's a lot of guests that say that the elevator stops mysteriously on the 3rd floor of the hotel, and that's the floor where Dickens would, pace his room and do his practicing. But it will stop there even if nobody hits the button. The elevator will just go there. So a lot of people think that the ghost is just heading back to his room. They say if you say the words to the Christmas Carol out loud, that he will appear in the mirror. And then if you talk to him, if you're like, "Hey, Chucky," then he disappears. So he appears in the mirror. The haunted mirror actually stayed in the suite in the Omni Parker House Hotel for several years. Oh, here it says. And then it was transferred a few blocks away to the Tremont Temple Baptist Church.
There you go.
Anyway, so if you go to the Tremont Temple Baptist Church in Boston, make sure you go to the 2nd floor. If you walk to the very, very end of the hall, you'll see, they say it's a really kind of an unassuming mirror. Floor length that's hanging on the wall with a plaque that reads, "Mirror from the rooms at the Parker House occupied by Charles Dickens. Look closely and see reflections of Dickens as he practiced a Christmas Carol."
In the church, they're like, "Hey, sweet ghost right here." That's pretty cool.
You don't see that in our churches. This chair is haunted by the spirit of Brigham Young. It
That's right.
doesn't happen at our church.
It should, though. It probably should.
It would bring in more.
Yeah, but the writer of the article says, "Here's hoping that one day the mirror will find itself back in its original home at the Parker House so it can be reunited with the famously haunted suite on the 3rd floor." But apparently it's happy at the Tremont Temple Baptist Church.
I mean, they owned it. Like I said, they put a plaque up, so
Yeah, I mean, they did do a plaque.
that says, "Come see the ghost."
So there you
I
go.
love it.
Just, I was going to say, if you want to visit with Charles Dickens, just go stare at the mirror. Don't talk to him, though, because then he'll disappear.
Just
Kind of
watch.
an introvert ghost.
Look, but don't touch.
He'll come, but he doesn't want to chat.
That's very interesting.
Hey, thanks for listening. Get your Supernatural Hour swag at advancedparanormal.com.
It's school time. Get a notebook.
Oh my goodness, that's right. My kids go back tomorrow.
Mine went today.
That's awesome. So yeah, you can get all sorts of stuff. Cool bags, tapestries, mugs, shirts, you know it. All that stuff.
And check out our swag. We've got our sage rollers. We've got some new sage spray out. And we also want to mention, catch us on TikTok, catch us on Facebook, and on YouTube.
I'm loving TikTok.
She's really loving TikTok.
That's kind of a bad
What's
thing.
your TikTok name?
Advanced.paranormal.
At advanced.paranormal.
No, it's just, I don't know.
And please follow me. I'm Rogue Wisps.
She is the paranormal groomer.
I am the paranormal groomer.
If you've got groomer folks, you need to follow her.
Please.
She's got the cutest little TikToks. And she puts awesome music to it.
I try every day. Need more followers.
All right, and then just a little shout out to friends of Supernatural Hour. We've got the Barbary Coast. They've got an amazing little flat iron steak on Thursday nights. Oteo's, Utah Freeze Dried for Pets, Castle's Nature Studio. And not only does he do nature, he does portraits, weddings, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, you name
And soon
it.
he's going to do our team picks.
He is. I just haven't put that together yet. I dropped the ball. I
It's
suck.
okay.
I
The
suck.
season's coming.
I suck. Okay. And then Boar Off-Road Backcountry Off-Road Adventure Rally. I think that's still wrong, but
And let's not forget Rescue Pets Bathhouse.
I need to write that on here. If your dog needs grooming, take your puppy to Rogue. She does the cutest little job. They have these
Thank
cute
you.
little bandanas.
We do. We do.
They're adorable.
Big shout out to Kelly for helping us out getting those.
All right. Stay spooky, my haunty friends.
Love you, Nicholas.
Have a good one.
Hey, good night.
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright 2021 by Advanced Paranormal Services.